Hello and welcome back. That guy with the face here for Katawa Shoujo, Episode 3. Let's go. It's funny, I had always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now, something about how I can go back to school anyways, but no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know that it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all this, the hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this. But the thought of going to a disabled school? What are those even like? As much as I try and put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think to get me through this. At least I have something, even if it's a special school. It's something. A fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. Act 1. Life Expectancy. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster assembled in a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but I couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about that. The gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked towards the main building of Yamako Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone, as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park with a clean walkway going past trees, and the smell of fresh cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I knew about schools. There's It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told that this is my new school, in the back of my head it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kinda eerie. Makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind, and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again, how they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Dot dot dot. Only after I stand in front of the hauntingly main building, I surprised myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. But after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous and with this realization set in my head, I open the front door. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. You must be, Nikki? Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Mato. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asks you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon's probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're already waiting. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? This is the first choice. So, first time through, I'm just gonna go with my choices, and if you hate me, so be it. Yeah, sure. I mean, isn't that normal? Of course, but not everyone likes to be the center of attention. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down on the third floor corridor is marked with as the classroom for class 3-3. Mato opens the door and enters. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Probably that painting. Get a grip. This is a big step, I know that. But there isn't any point to worrying so much about it. At least, not this soon. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. So far, the class looks fairly normal. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high, and there's lots of space left over around and in between the desks. An entire wall is taken up by blackboards, and the high old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and a wooden chair with metal frames. Simple and efficient. I stop I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They look normal, like students in any other school, but then why would they be here? They're probably like me and have something wrong with them. It's only it's just not immediately obvious. Then I notice one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb on her right hand. It's a little jarring. That guy in the corner. Uh, Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long, straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. She sees me looking back at her. She covers her face with her hands as if it would make her invisible. There's this boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rim of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. That guy in the corner. She's kind of cute. So, is the cheery looking girl with pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hands and so does everyone else, except one girl in the first row who has only one hand. I cringe a little, but I hide it by bowing in thanks for the applause I did not deserve. A collective silence tells me I should probably open my mouth. So I'm Hisao Nakai. After that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope to get along with everyone, even though I'm a new student here. And after that, I'm being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say something more exciting. I end up saying nothing, and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied, even with what little I said, though a few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. It could have gone worse. Ellipses. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on this round with her one hand against the other wrist, which ends in a bandaged stump. It makes me feel a little bit bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, it's fine with me. That's good. You could work with Haruko and Shizude. She could explain anything you might want to know, and who else would be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passes out the day's assignment and announces that we'll be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hamachi is. Slow, the teacher seems to catch on my helpless expression. Oh, right, Hibachi is right there. Shizude Hibachi. As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with bright hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hamachi, right? It's nice to meet you. Ah ha 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 ha! What? I'm caught off guard by our laughter. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hamachi. I'm Misha. This is Hamachi Shi-chan. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before it. Looks like she might be staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. This is gonna be a treat. She has short yet carefully neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of her dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. Okay, that will do it for part 3.